Yo, live, it's the Golden Network. We here with Youngfuu for the another episode live from G's Barbershop. We just ready to kick it off, man. I think this is gonna be a dope interview. It's a man of many talents, many gifts, and I'm gonna let him kind of introduce you, himself, and tell a little more about him today.
Youngfuu, what's up, everybody? I'm a music artist, born in Michigan, raised in Columbus, Ohio. I be around the city as much as I can, try to expand on my craft, the ones that I do have, learning more.
He a man in many hats. You want to tell him the rest of it?
Rap, poetry, shoot videos, edit videos, photography, videography. Oh no, I already said that right. Yeah. I feel like it's cover art,
Graphic design.
Yeah.
He's done his thing. Definitely an artist that I love to work with. Definitely an artist that, he got a lot to share, a lot to aspire with, things like that. Just as far as, now I don't even know where to start because you got so many hats. So I guess it's whatever part of you that you want to start to tell them about.
Music for sure. That's the most time I have invested in at the moment. Well, overall.
Definitely. So, just going with music, it's been an artist. What would you say you started with music and how old was you and what kind of inspired you to, keep going and keep pushing and things like that?
Thank you.
I started when I was 9. And honestly, if I started because I seen you rapping to another family member, and honestly, you could have been doing just about anything, and I'd have probably done it, but I've never seen nobody rap their own lyrics before, so that was something that I wanted to try out, and the more I tried to do my own thing with it, it just stuck with me, even though I wasn't taking it serious in the beginning. But by the time I hit middle school, high school, I started trying to really get in the studio and do everything that I could to try to push somewhere with it.
That's dope. That's dope. It's crazy. You say I inspired you. You really inspired me to just keep going. Like, I know it was a time where I was ready to give up. A time where I was signed and I got dropped. I don't want to make this about me, but I got dropped, and then food definitely was like, nah, it ain't happening. You feel me? Like, I wanted to just quit after I got dropped. It was like, it was devastating, discouraging. But he one of the ones that definitely just kept me going, kept me pushing. It's good to have people around you that continue to want to see you successful and want to see you elevate in every way. So just going into, I know you said, through high school you just started taking it serious and stuff like that. Like, what made you get to that turning point where you was like, okay, I played around with this enough. I want to just take it serious and get going?
When I realized I stopped doing a lot of extracurricular activities, like outside of school, the only two constant things for real that I can say that I've been doing is rapping and playing a game. So I got to a point to where I realized, like, if I'm either not failing at something or I realize that I'm not as driven as I was before, those are the two things that the light never got dim for me on. So I stopped playing football. I stopped playing basketball around the neighborhood, all type of stuff. And then I really started trying to lock in with it and see what direction I can take it.
Definitely. Man, how far would you say you got now? Like, if you was to rate yourself right now, how far would you say you've gone since then? And then how far do you really want to take it?
Honestly, I definitely took it to where I wasn't expecting, but everything that I feel like has been going on, I just want to keep growing on each aspect, whether it be writing, song making, getting into like writing for other people. Well, that's another thing that I actually want to learn how to do. Producing, touring. I love performing. I actually set up my sets a specific way for when I do perform. So I just want to keep everything that we doing. I just wanted to grow and keep reaching more people.
Definitely just an add-on to what you already got. You know what I mean? That's lit. What part of you do you want to reach other people? And then when you do reach other people, what do you want them to get out of meeting you or seeing you, even if it's just meeting you through music?
Don't settle for one thing, and it can be you can be focused on one subject as a whole, but don't just lock into this one thing. Like for example, if you are gonna be a rapper, you don't just gotta rap about the same exact thing or the same exact way. You can switch it up in multiple ways, whether it be the beat, the subject, your patterns, cadence, the way you messing with your words, or whatever. Back to the way I set up my performance, I can be emotional in one song and then do a song for the females, do a song for the hood, and then do a song for my mom all in one set. And a lot of artists don't really do that too much. They focus on one demographic. And if you play football, you can be a quarterback and then go to be a running back the next play, or just be on your toes with everything. Try to be a jack of all trades in whatever you want your profession to be, because then it's dang near guarantee you gonna make it somewhere with it.
Definitely. So it's just versatile. Yeah. You know what I mean? They have that many roads, the opportunity, I should say. You know what I mean? So that's lit. You definitely wear many hats, man, and I think that's truly inspiring. So just as a person, as an artist, what would you want your listener to take from you? If it was one thing they was listening to your music right now, like what would you want them to get out of your music?
Being more mindful of what you listening to. Be more.
I guess what I'm saying is, what part of your life would you want to reflect through your music? To say, okay, this is a part of me. You know what I mean? Like, take this part of me.
Just about everything. Because I lately, for sure, when it comes to music, when it comes to anything that could resemble what I'm going through or what I have been through, I definitely want the picture to be vivid enough to where you can see where I came from and see where I'm at also, and see my growth as an artist and as a person. I try to wear my heart on my sleeve most of the time when I'm writing. So usually it's you getting me when you listen to me.
Definitely. And you definitely came from a humble beginning, and that's really respectable. What part of your life do you want your audience to see the most?
The me that tends to isolate, because for me, that's why I grow the most, because I can do a lot of self-reflect and see my own flaws, my own errors, and a lot of the decisions that I made. And it helps me steer away from those bad decisions that I made or the bad advice that I took. And it helps me learn and develop as an artist and as a person.
That's definitely dope. I think, people may get a lot of enlightenment out of that, and just on your journey to just coming up what would you say as far as your life that you could put in your music? What would you say you grew the most?
I feel like I like evolve through loss. Like it's a sucky way to evolve, but
It's like
it be yeah. But it's like it helps me. Like I will in those moments, those are times that I also like isolate myself away from people. So I push myself into my work, my craft. So I tend to try to overachieve in it to make those people that aren't around no more like even more proud that I'm going harder. But sometimes I gotta realize I be hurting myself while I'm doing that because it's like I'm spending time away from the people who are here, who also going through the same thing I'm going through. So nowadays it's like I gotta find a better balance for it because me being around usually, well, I've been told before that me being around, being strong for other people tends to help them.
I will say, definitely, definitely helped a lot. You know what I mean? Because I know through some of the moments I was discouraged to get through. Definitely had you right there to help keep me uplifted and push me through. Like I say, yeah, I mean, if y'all don't have nobody, make sure you get good people around you that's gonna help keep you uplifted. Cause life in general, man, like it tends to tear you down at times. So you're gonna have ups, you're gonna have downs. You're gonna have good moments, you're gonna have bad moments. So it's good to, like you said, sometimes you isolate. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's good to have some people that can see from outside in that may help pull you out of that isolation or out of that rut. You know what I mean? That it may be hard for you to, pull yourself out of it. For me, and like I say, I don't know how many times I say it's good to have good people around that's gonna help enlighten you, inspiring you, and see the good in you when you don't see it in yourself. You know what I mean? Man, you got so much music, so much. You just got so much content out there in general. You know what I mean? If you got somebody at home that's watching that isolates themselves, what would you tell them to, how do you find your way out of those moments?
I try to be the light that I need in those isolated moments. Even though, even on some occasions, the isolation do be purposeful because I feel like, all right, I gotta lock in and I be trying to kill all the outside noise. But for the days where it's just like, I'm subconsciously doing it and then I start to notice, but I just can't get myself out. I just try to replay in my head, trying to be who I needed when I was growing up. Because in dark moments, you need somebody to be that light, or you never know who you're the light for. So that kind of helps me push out of that and get to be around people because you may never know who really need that light at the moment. They might need the light more than you do.
I don't even know what hat they keep hitting on. You got so many. But that was just something that you would want to just tell the people.
Inspire. Just keep grinding. It ain't over until you really say it's over. It's been a couple times myself where I wanted to quit a lot of the stuff that I'm doing currently, but I see a lot of people who have made it or a little bit more successful than me, and some of them are older. It's what, I'm 30. 2 Chainz ain't get hot until he was about 37. So it's other artists, I can't remember their name, but they about 70. They just now starting to get hundreds and thousands of views and stuff like that. So it's never too late for whatever you want your craft or your profession to be. As long as you got air to breathe, just keep pushing for it.
I mean, every day, I know discouragement set in, but just continue to just keep pushing just continue to try to, better your craft each and every day. Your time's gonna come, you know what I mean? You just gotta stay footed, you know what I mean? You just gotta know what your purpose is and stay aligned with your purpose. You know what I mean? What type or what genre of music would you say inspired you the most to lead you on a path for the music that you want now?
Outside of rapping, I'd say lately I've been listening to country here and there, but R&B, I've been listening to like jazz instrumentals here and there and stuff like that. Just even thinking about samples, that's what made me really want to start producing, because it's a lot of stuff that some people get stuck in their ways with when they're creating music, to where it's like they're stopping their own development or their own evolution when it comes to it. So it's a lot of stuff that I want to like kind of dig into, whether it be past or even sampling something from like a video game to make something better. I just want to just keep spreading and spreading until eventually everything to kind of be one big melting pot.
Just kind of, continuing to evolve.
Yeah.
I mean, grow into other aspects. Yeah, I think that's definitely dope. You know what I mean? As far as being an artist you are, what challenges would you say you face the most?
Realizing that sometimes it is best to dumb down your lyrics at points. Writer's block, or just having so many ideas at once, and it kind of like that's like a whole nother form of writer's block in itself, because it's like, all right, well, I got this beat in mind, but I'm already writing to this beat. Or I have an idea that just randomly pop up, so now you gotta go back and forth between your notes to jot this down. Next thing you know, you get that's how people be getting multiple songs started and never finish.
It's crazy because most of the time I get writer's block, and I had learned a trick through writer's block too. But most of the time I get writer's block is because I get overloaded or overwhelmed with content, and it's like, where do I even start with this content, or where do I place this, particular thing, and it's hard to get rolling. That's the biggest thing. But once you get rolling, it's like everything just kind of flows. So I definitely get that. You know what I mean? And just to kind of piggyback off that, one thing that I learned me personally through getting through writer's block is I had somebody tell me a while ago that as long as you keep living each and every day, you should never run out of anything to write about. You know what I mean? And so that was big for me, because if I get writer's block, just point back to my day or any aspect of my life. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, boom, this kind of reflects this, or this inspired me here, and then I can finish out what I said.
That's definitely what you thought about that.
So that kind of helped. That's for me. So if it's anybody at home kind of, dealing with writer's block through their content, or, trying to get through writer's block or something like that, just look at your life, man. Everybody has a different story to tell. Some people may have similar stories, but everybody perceived it or looked at it in a different way. So nobody can tell your story how you can tell your story. You know what I mean? So,
and that for everything that involves like perspective when you writing, there's always another perspective. So sometimes you got an idea for a song. That song could really be 2 or 3 if you really dissect it a little bit more. Because that just reminded me of the song "I'm Sorry" by T.I. Andre 3000, how Andre 3000 like flipped the subject matter, but it still was a part of the subject. Stuff like that shows creativity and how somebody can think outside the box, and I've been trying to implement that into a lot of the features that I've been doing lately.
Definitely. Just with features, man, like I know features is one of the things that kind of help elevate a career when everybody kind of working together. And that's another thing I feel like if you want to connect, you want to build, you want to grow, continue to, just reach out and network, man. Networking is a huge thing to help elevate for me.
Support your local artists for sure.
Definitely.
Pop up to some shows. Even if you're an artist yourself, man.
For sure. You know what I mean? But just with doing features, what's your view on doing features and things like that?
I've only got like full paid up front, I guess you could say, because with the BMI and streaming stuff, it gets split that way. But other than that, I've only been paid like once for a feature, and that was because I didn't even want to do it because I went to my homie's studio, but I wasn't even there to record. I was just there to chill. And dude was like, "Bro, please, like, jump on this song with me. Just jump on it, whatever." Da 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 da. He just kept asking me. He's like, "Bro, look, I can give you a couple dollars." I'm like, "Bro, it ain't that serious." He like, "Here." He gave me $2 to jump on the song. I'm like, forget it. I will. I was about to write, but then I'm like, you know what? This beat, like the beat, start like hitting a little bit. So I'm like, I feel like I can just go in there. It definitely was a fun moment, and he enjoyed it. I just cannot find the song no more.
Oh,
I can't find it no more.
I be hating tracks like that. Sometimes I feel like sometimes you go out, you will slay a track, and then you be like, dang, what happened to her? You lose it,
Man.
or you write like a fire verse, or you lose it,
Man.
or you write like a fire verse in your head and you can't get it to paper right away.
Mm-hmm.
Or you come up with a banging hook and you like, yo, I gotta write this down as soon as I get it, and then 10-20 minutes later before you get the paper you forgot what you even said or what you came up with, and it's like, yo, so I wish that we can just look back and just recycle those lyrics, like, bro, come back to me, you know what I mean? Like, you know how much music is probably lost like that?
I already know. I done lost a computer twice.
Man.
Like 2-3 flash drives.
Definitely.
But every once in a while, that's why I risk getting in trouble at work from time to time.
Just to grab some paper.
Like, hold on, I gotta
Nah, I feel that. Mm-hmm.
try to hurry and grab my phone and voice record. Oh yeah, I gotta say this.
Sneaking in the back, like, yo, let me go. Hold on, y'all gotta record this real quick.
Get a quick studio act going.
Nah, that's for sure, dude. This one, don't try this at home. We don't want nobody getting fired from work. Feel me? Get your bag. Feel me? Nah, that's lit though. Feel me? I just really started getting in the feature game. You know what I mean? I started really understanding the importance and the lucrative measure of doing features. You know what I mean? Network, man, it's the only way to brand, only way to build for real. If I could tell anybody that. Just with being an artist, what would you say is your biggest perks?
The connections I made from networking. Honestly, I know a few DJs. I know a lot of artists. I kind of got a couple. I never took them, but I've had a couple opportunities to like battle rap. A couple festivals. There's people who make merch. Promoters. Just all type of walks of hip, like sometimes it expands more than just the genre of music you doing. Cause I've definitely chopped it up with a couple people who in rock bands and stuff like that, just off of me randomly popping up somewhere that we about to do a show because they had an event right before, and they just so happened to stick around. And I actually got a project that's probably about to, well, not a full project, but a song pretty soon that is gonna be started with my friend Nate. He played guitar for his band. I wish I could think of the name right now. But his band, they do country music, and he gonna do the acoustic guitar for me. So I'm waiting on that so I can rap on that and kind of finally make music with him. Because other than that, we only did ciphers together.
That's dope. So it's like kind of one of the perks is just networking.
That's the biggest one because I've met a couple people just off networking that I currently call my brothers because now we got 10 plus years and being cool with each other just off of us linking up. Yeah, just linking up in the same spot. Just so happen to be all rappers.
That's dope. Like the power of music, man. The power of music that bring change. You know what I mean? It bring people together, man. Music is just life for real, and it's just good to see. For me, through your journey, what would you say is things that really kept you focused the most?
Focused the most. The constant notion of feeling like I can keep getting better and hearing how other people get better with what they're doing in their craft it get my blood flowing sometimes. So it's like sometimes I instantly want to like write something to whether it's to their beat, something that I already got on the computer, me wanting to go try to find a way to make something, or even just me beating on the table and wanting to record that. So it always makes me want to try to elevate. It's almost like a competition to see how much better I can do with what somebody either else already done or what how I can outdo myself. So like shoot, it's even sometimes when I write something, I'm like, oh dang, I really just how can I go past that now?
Nah, for sure. You know what I mean? So pretty much like the things that kept you focused, like other inspiration around. You know what I mean? So just other inspiration around just looking at your life, right? Because we can always take things from our lives, that we've been through and, inspire us. What part of your story or your life do you want people to see within your music?
I haven't really put out this because I have a lot of stuff written that's never been recorded or heard. But the way I mentally think about everybody, I try to have everybody involved in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's having a kid do an ad-lib in the background of a song to see if somebody catch it, or having one of my sisters be a feature or jump on stage with me, or whatever the case. I even have my mom. I have a song where she wrote the hook. So I be wanting to get everybody involved with it, just so I don't feel like I'm the only one leaving my mark, but it's something for everybody to feel like they can always go back to and have a fond memory. So even through some of the songs that you might not necessarily be like, oh well, I'm pretty sure he was thinking about such and such because maybe I'm talking about trapping or something, but the whole time my sister writing the hook, or she got the ad-libs going, or I try to make sure I think of everybody when I'm working on it.
No, that's dope. So that's, involving everybody, that's dope. But what part of your childhood, what part of your story, your life story do you want to resemble in your music? Like people can listen and say, okay, that happened in his childhood, or okay, that happened, through his teenage years, or what part of your life do you want to reflect in your music?
I don't have a specific part, but I have what aspect it is. It's usually a mental health thing.
Gotcha.
So when it's times where I get emotional, even sometimes where it's not even necessarily reflecting on me, but there's some points in some of my songs to where I have a line or two and it's about somebody else because they might have vented to me or something, and it helps me get to other people, like as far as relatability, and to like kind of know that it's somebody going through the same thing as you.
That's dope. That's dope. I like that. You know, I like that a lot for real. And you know, if it's somebody right now that wants to be an artist or a videographer, I know we didn't really touch on too many of your other hats, but if it's somebody that wants to be an artist right now, what words of encouragement would you have for them?
Make sure you really love what you're doing. That's the biggest thing for me. Regardless on what it is, because if you really love it, even in your times of doubt, if it shouldn't matter if you make it successfully, because you love doing it. Like even now, as I've been doing this since I was 9, I'm 30 years old. I ain't been on a world tour. I ain't got a feature from J. Cole or whatever, but I'm still enjoying it. After all of these years, I can inspire the next kid. Like I just, one of the shows that I did recently, a few of the kids from the rec center that I work at got to actually come and see me perform. They were excited. And it's just stuff like that. Is as long as you love doing what you're doing, the money really won't matter too much. Just the smiles you can put on people's face, the enjoyment, them reciting your lyrics when you didn't even know they knew them, or copying the play that you did on the court because it was something crazy you did. Just as long as you love doing it, just don't stop, man. It'll either pay off as far as money, fame, or to pay off in helping you with your mental health and your happiness. Because sometimes that's what's needed the most.
Facts. So I know you mentioned you work at a rec center. You know, not to get too far from music, but you know, just to touch on you for a little bit. What kind of guided you, you know, in that direction of work at a rec center? You know what I mean, and things like that.
Well, since I've been working there, I'm usually more like hands-on with a lot of the kids. So depending on like, and again, it's like kind of having like multiple hats on. Like even when I'm there, it's not too. I always want to like study on what they doing or what they interest is. So when they ask for questions, I know a little bit to be able to help. In that area, like soccer is like the #1 sport, but you have some kids who are like not necessarily forced, but they feel like that's the sport they have to do, even though they enjoy playing basketball more. So I try to push them into doing what they really enjoy more, and I'm hands-on, so I play basketball with them. Soccer, if they want to play the game, I teach them how to stream or something, help them work on their shot. And I'm usually more with the boys than the girls. So it feel like I'm trying to help them be a better man by the time they get to my age or get to experiencing life close enough to an adult to be better prepared.
So I think that's dope. You able to get a hold of the youth and then guide them in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What would you say, what part of you would you say you feel stands out to the kids the most to make them cling to you and you know, just want to do and be better?
With the show that they just seen me perform at, it's like they haven't stopped talking about it, and that show was like when we did our show the 6th.
Yeah, it was on Sunday, so I think
that was the 8th. Yeah, okay. So the show that I did December 6th, they've been talking about it since. Like almost every time they see me, whether it be me randomly popping up in the neighborhood or popping up at the rec when I gotta work, or just me popping up there in general, they still mention that. And it's like it gave them a glimpse on what they could be doing, you know. And it's almost me giving them, me being the person that I always needed when I was because I'm from the same neighborhood, so a lot of them are just at the snap of a finger able to relate to me when it comes to a lot of things because some of them are going through things that I've already went through, so I'm able to guide them through a lot.
I definitely so it's basically there to provide hope.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's dope because not all of us had hopeful situations coming up, you know what I mean, or where we felt we could cling to hope or we seen something we could say, you know, I hope to get through that with this or so on and so forth, you know what I mean. So it's good that you can be that individual that when they do see you out there in the neighborhood or, you know, out and about, or they do see you on stage or something like that, they can say, yo, this is where I want to get to. You know what I mean? Or, you know, you provide that hope in this way, whether it's just giving them a word or showing them through action. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. And just with doing all this, man, because I know we didn't touch into him doing videography, we ain't really touch into his, you know, graphic design work and stuff like that, which I definitely want to get into sooner or later. So we might have to have another Youngfuu interview, you know what I mean? But through all that, and then you come home and you take time to you, what does that look like? Where it's just like, okay, I can come home, I don't have to be Youngfuu at home, I can be me, you know what I mean? Like, what does that look like to you?
Over time, it became just enjoying silence. Like there'd be times where I originally would like, I'm put on some headphones because in my head I really do want to listen to music, but by the time I put them on, I just be sitting there chilling, tuning everything out. I like being able to get that moment of standstill and peace and quiet because it became way more blissful the older I got. So it'd be times where I can just freshly get off work and pull up, and I wouldn't even go in the house yet because I'd just be sitting there in the car chilling, like watching TikTok or just scrolling through Facebook or even just rereading some of like some old verses or something that I haven't practiced in a while. It's just everything being quiet. Sometimes it's something really good for me.
Silence helps a lot, you know what I mean? If you have any last words of encouragement or anything for anybody at home that's watching, what would you leave with them?
Be you, whether somebody's there watching you or not. Integrity go a long way. So being you unapologetically, wherever you are, in front of whoever, not in front of whoever, it'll take you a long way. Just be authentic. Keep it 100 with everybody.
Definitely appreciate y'all. This Youngfuu, man. My dog King Golden, the Golden Network. If you got anything coming up in 2025 that you want?
A lot, actually. A lot.
I didn't want to leave without asking.
I don't have a full project myself, but I got a couple songs definitely lined up for... Oh, actually, I do have a project that I started on. By April 1st, I should have a mixtape out. Called April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day. Be looking for that.
You April Fooling us already? Be aware, you know what I mean?
It might not come out the first, that might be the trick. But I got a project with my homie Nightmare. Tour plan. My homie P planning on doing a tour sometime in 2025. Plan on being a part of that. I want to do way more shows and longer sets eventually too. Project with King Golden almost finished, so that might be there 2025.
That's gonna be good. Everything we touch is dope.
Another project, I can't put a date on that, but I'm hoping that get done in 2025. I'm in a rap group called Phase 4.
That's dope.
My homie Nightmare, my homie Caliber, and my homie Bless. We actually just started like kind of writing. We got a couple beats lined up that we plan on getting to. It's just finding a time with two of us being in Ohio and the other two in Michigan. It's hard to kind of get everybody aligned sometimes, but it's definitely starting to come along and starting to get pushed.
There you go. That's Youngfuu 2025. I mean, I thank y'all for tuning in. Definitely was a blessing to have him on here and give y'all a little bit about his artist side. We definitely gonna have him back to get back to, you know, the videographer side, the photography side,
you know, I'm definitely getting back to that too. So I'll start looking out for anything labeled Foo Photography or shot by Youngfuu.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? I say he do a lot for me as far as the golden culture team and stuff like that. I didn't really want to get too into that because this, like I said, this ain't about me, it's about Youngfuu, but he do a lot of things, so make sure y'all reach out, network with him, touch base with him. He can do a lot for you. He definitely got some bars for you that's always heat, you know what I mean? So he definitely can turn your song up. Make sure y'all reach out to him for features.
For sure.
Golden Network, we live every Sunday at 2 p.m. around 2 p.m. You know what I mean? Every Friday we got a new artist, DJ, promoter, engineer, you know, CEO, something like that, every Friday and Sunday. Make sure y'all tune in live on TikTok. We also had the episodes posted on YouTube under King Golden. Maybe 2-3 days after the interview. So you can go to YouTube and rewatch episodes. If you want to hop on the show, if you're an artist, if you are a DJ, engineer, anything dealing with music, promoters, dancers, engineers, you know, you got it. Make sure you reach out at goldennetworksubmissions@gmail.com. We are accepting, you know, interviews and stuff like that. Again, that's goldennetworksubmissions@gmail.com. I'm your host, King Golden. Everything we touch is gold.